So yeah, for this video, we're just gonna go through all the standard, kind of the most popular prime lenses that Canon has to offer. So we're gonna start out with the 24, the 35, the 50, and then go to the 85 and show you guys all the different price points that Canon has to offer for those lenses. First lens I'm going to show you by Canon, it's the Canon EFS, a 24mm f2.8 STM lens. And this lens you'll just be able to use on APS-C size sensors, so basically the T6i, T5i, the 70D, or the 80D. You can't use this on a full frame camera or you're going to get that vignette on the sides. So this is a great price for a 24mm lens. It's only $150 right now on Amazon. So the step up from that last 24mm is this Canon lens, and this one is about $570. And this is a 2.8, and this one actually has image stabilization. So you're getting a little bit more with this lens, and you're also getting a lot of extras, as you can see on the picture there. And this lens actually has 4 stops of image stabilization, so pretty much any way you shake the camera, it's going to help correct that. And this one's also a 2.8 lens, so you're going to get some bokeh, some blurry background, but not quite as much as the next lens that I'm about to show you. So this is kind of Canon's higher budget prime lens. This is the 24mm f1.4 version 2. They recently came out with this one. There's also a version 1 lens that you can probably pick up for around $1,000 right now. But this is the newest one that they have. And this one can fit APS-C size sensors as well as full frame sensors. And this one comes in at about $1,550. So it's quite a bit more expensive than the last 2 I showed you, but this one's going to have a lot better glass and you're going to get a lot sharper images with this one. So at the next focal length at 35mm, this is Canon's f2 IS USM lens. So this is a really good beginner lens if you don't want to quite step up to that f1.4 lens that Canon has, that's a 35mm, but this is a very great bargain lens if you're still wanting to get that background blur and shoot in low light, but you don't quite want to spend, over $1,000 on a lens. And this lens here you can also shoot on an APS-C size sensor and a full frame sensor, so this would be a great lens to pick up if you have both or one or the other, or maybe want to upgrade someday. So this is kind of the step up from the last lens I showed you guys. There's a version 2 lens of this that just came out fairly recently, but this is the little bit older version, and this one comes in at about $1,000. This is the 35 f1.4 USM lens. And as you can see, there's quite a few extras that you can get with this lens. So I've used this lens for senior pictures, for weddings, and this is a great overall walk-around lens that you can pretty much use in any situation. It shoots very well in low light, it's super sharp, and you're going to get great images almost every time with this lens. So here's kind of the highest price 35mm lens from Canon. This one comes in about $1,700. This is the one they just released not too long ago. And this one also is 1.4, and this lens is said to be pretty amazing. I mean, as you can see, there's not a ton of reviews on it. Not many people probably have this lens at this point, but it's gotten good reviews so far. So moving on to the Canon EF 50mm. This is a lens that I think everybody should have if they're on a budget and can afford a little bit more expensive 50mm. This one goes all the way down to f1.8, and it's very sharp, and the autofocus is very silent on this thing. And it's just a really great lens for a very cheap price at $125. On this one, the build quality is not quite as good, and it only goes down to f1.8, but it's still a very great value lens, and it's going to get you some great pictures for a very cheap price. So this lens has been around for a long time, and I've used this lens quite a bit when I first started doing photography. This is the Canon EF 50 1.4 lens. You can use this one on APS-C size sensors and full frame cameras, and this is a really awesome starting out 50mm lens. This is probably the best lens that I've used for the price. And this one's only $350 right now, and you can do a lot with this lens. It goes down all the way to f1.4. The photos are super sharp, and you have a very quick autofocus with this lens, and it gives you really good images, really good bokeh in the background, And you know, there's a reason why this lens has been around for a long time, because it's a really great lens. Has a very great build quality, and as you can see, the reviews on this thing are very good. I really wish I still had this lens. I ended up actually dropping it off my desk, and it kind of broke the focusing mechanism in it, so I haven't been able to use this lens, but I really want to buy this lens again because it's such a great lens and you can use it on any camera. So this is the next step up in the 50mm lineup from Canon. This is the f1.2. So this goes down super low and you can get really cool shots with this lens. And this lens also comes with a bunch of extras, a carrying case, and a few different cleaning tools, and a little tripod thing it looks like. And this is a really awesome professional grade, very nice glass, and very sharp photos with this lens. So this is the next lens I'm going to show you. This is the 85mm f1.8 USM lens by Canon. This lens you can use on APS-C size sensors as well as full frame sensors. And I've used this one a lot. I've used this one indoors with sports, and I've done a few portraits with this lens. And this is a really great lens as well. And this is kind of a budget lens for Canon compared to the next 85 I'm going to show you. But at only $370, this is a great starting lens if you're looking at getting into doing portrait photography, maybe some weddings, even indoors in some sporting events. This lens will work very well. It has a very quick autofocus, and it hits that autofocus very well. And it looks like this package comes with a bunch of extras as well. And like I said, for only $370, this is a great buy with all the extras you get, and you get a really great lens. It's been around for a very long time. And $1,900 is a little bit out of my price range, but you know, if you have the money, this is probably one of the best portrait lenses to pick up for Canon. This is going to give you the sharpest images. It has awesome glass in it. So this lens you can use for APS-C size sensors as well as full frame sensors. So basically, you know, if you can't afford a full frame camera, you can afford maybe a 7D or a T6i. This would be a great lens to pair that up with because you're going to get really clear, really awesome shots with this thing. I'm actually going to show you guys one more lens. This lens has been a favorite of mine for a long time. This is the Canon EF 135 f2 lens. And I don't think a lot of people have this lens because it's kind of an interesting focal length. This one I've actually used in some sports situations as well as some concert photography, and this lens is super sharp, and it's really great because it goes down to f2, and you can even use this for some portraits. And at $1,000, this is a great pickup for people that might be wanting to do some volleyball photography, basketball, concerts. It's a very quick focusing lens, and it has a minimum focusing distance of 3 feet, so you can actually get fairly close and it still focuses really fast, and it has some really good glass in this lens. If you guys like the style of this video, please let me know and I will do some more videos like this one, kind of going through prices and showing you guys different options. So yeah, please let me know if you liked it and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys next time.